Hey there, financial enthusiasts, and welcome back to Legend Finance. If it's your first time here, we are your one-stop channel dedicated to untangling the intricacies of the financial world, and we're thrilled you're joining us today. In this episode, we'll be exploring a tantalizing question. How much money do you actually need to be considered rich? It's a concept that is both relative and elusive, influenced by things like geography, individual goals, and societal norms. We'll journey through various wealth benchmarks across the earth, discuss the differing perceptions of wealth in different contexts, and help demystify this intriguing notion of what it means to be rich. Our aim isn't to foster comparison or feed inadequacies, but to enlighten and perhaps inspire you to define your own concept of wealth. Whether you're saving for a comfortable future, targeting financial independence, or gunning for the billionaire benchmark, we're confident this episode will offer some intriguing insights. So let's buckle up and embark on this exciting exploration together. And before we dive in, a quick reminder, if you find our content useful, make sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Legend Finance for more enlightening financial journeys. Now, let's get started. Global Rich List. If you're watching our channel from the US, you're already pretty wealthy on a global scale. On a website called globalrichlist.com, using the US average income of $50,000, it shows you be in the world's top 0.31% wealthiest. That's right, not just the top 1%, but 0.31%. To put it into perspective, a worker in Ghana would need 312 years to earn what Americans make in a year. Or your $50,000 salary could pay the monthly salaries of 307 doctors in Malawi. Quite eye-opening, isn't it? Sure, comparing US income to that in Ghana might seem odd because the cost of living varies. Yet it's a reminder of the financial advantages many of us hold and the opportunities like potentially retiring decades earlier in another country. It makes you appreciate just how lucky you are, but what does it really mean to be truly rich? Luxury watches. The perception of wealth often evolves with time. Initially, we might equate richness with flaunting high-end designer clothes. Then, as we mature, our wealth symbols might shift to luxury items like a dazzling frosted-out Rolex. However, be warned that chasing after such costly baubles can lead to regret when their allure fades. In reality, that flashy Rolex might just be a knockoff, worn more for its cool factor than its price tag. Our view of affluence may then shift to luxury cars, right? We've all watched somewhat enviously as someone stepped out of a sleek McLaren or a Ferrari, wishing we were the ones drawing those envious glances. But here's the surprise, cars tend to impress other guys more. Most girls, particularly those worth pursuing, usually aren't overly impressed by what you drive. However, the supposed ultimate status symbol of wealth could be owning a house, perhaps. But we've learned that true wealth isn't just about material possessions. Instead, it's about financial stability and freedom. The ability to do what we want when we want and not being tied to a job just to pay the bills. This realization, though it comes to us later in life, is the most valuable of all. After all, as the saying goes, real wealth is about more than just what you can buy. Job titles. Employers have a bag of tricks to make you feel tied to your job and instill a sense of success. One such ruse is through grandiose job titles. They'd label us as Director of Production, Executive Marketing Director, or Senior Coordinator, and such lofty titles make us feel significant, as if we're riding high on the waves of success. But remember, these titles don't define wealth. When you ask people what amount of money they consider rich, the answers vary from $1 million to merely being debt-free. A quick Google search suggests that to be considered rich in the United States, you should have a net worth of at least $2.3 million. But that's based on what people think, and let's face it, many don't have a real grasp of wealth. The estimated rich benchmark changes from state to state, with an average of $1.7 million. But before that number disheartens you, remember you're not alone. Many, including folks in their mid-50s, might consider themselves lucky to have a six-figure sum in their savings. So these intimidating figures are still far from the actual mark. Isn't that wild? How much money you need. Mainstream media often make us believe we need a mountain of money to be rich. Financial advisors may suggest figures between $2 and $5 million. But hang on, when did $1 million become chump change? Imagine investing a cool $1 million in stocks with a 4% dividend. You're raking in $40,000 a year, pretty much tax-free without even denting the principal. That's not exactly small change, right? It goes to show that $1 million is far from insignificant. Don't let the media overwhelm you. Yes, becoming a millionaire might seem like a tall order, but it's doable. People sometimes throw in the towel before they've even started, thinking they'll never make the cut. But don't be disheartened. Every journey starts with a single step. And for those of you who say, "I'll never retire, I love what I do," that's fantastic. But remember, it's always a good idea to have a financial plan. That's a conversation for another day, though. We'll get to it. The real truth. Mainstream media isn't deliberately keeping us uninformed about money. They're often just as perplexed as everyone else. Wealth isn't about high-flying job titles or a collection of expensive stuff. True wealth is reached when the need for active work is no longer necessary to sustain our lifestyle. If someone wants to calculate their rich number, it's quite straightforward. Use a financial tracking app like Mint or Personal Capital to keep tabs on monthly expenses. The total yearly expenses, when multiplied by 25, give the rich number. For example, if someone's expenses amount to around $2,000 a month, that's $24,000 annually. When multiplied by 25, that equals $600,000, the rich number. This follows the rule of 25, where the 4% returns on the rich number comfortably cover the annual expenses. A word of caution, though: inflation. But fear not, with dividend growth investing, the payouts increase annually, generally outpacing the average 2% inflation rate. Hence, the purchasing power could actually increase over time. Here's an interesting thought. We start our lives rich in time and freedom. As we grow up, we often shackle ourselves with debt and responsibilities, and then spend the rest of our lives trying to regain that initial richness. So if someone dismisses $1 million as insignificant, we can gently remind them that they may have misunderstood wealth. Even high earners like doctors or engineers don't necessarily excel at understanding and managing money. So they shouldn't be fooled by luxury goods, debt, or fancy job titles. They're not the ticket to true wealth. When ready to start saving and investing, it's advised to consult with a financial advisor to better understand the personal financial landscape and embark on a journey towards real affluence. We've just journeyed together through the compelling world of wealth and abundance. Together, we've pondered how much moolah one really needs to join the ranks of the financially elite. But let's remind ourselves that wealth is not solely defined by the balance in our accounts or the figures on our paychecks. True richness encompasses financial security, the freedom to follow our passions, and above all, a positive perspective on the journey to financial growth. Maybe we've got you thinking about reconsidering your own financial goals. Maybe we've inspired you to strategize your next big financial move. Or perhaps we've simply prompted you to redefine what wealth means to you. That's the goal here at Legend Finance, to ignite thought, spur curiosity, and guide each one of you towards your own financial greatness. At the same time, let's not forget the irreplaceable riches in our lives: the health we enjoy, the relationships we cherish, the experiences we accumulate, and the personal milestones we achieve. These are the treasures of life that money can't buy. We're so grateful for your company on this journey. Your support is invaluable to us here at Legend Finance. Keep those likes, comments, and subscriptions coming. They fuel our commitment to deliver insightful, engaging content on finance and beyond. As we wrap up, let's remember that wealth is not just the state of your bank account. It's a state of mind. Maintain that positivity, stay hungry for knowledge, and keep striving for growth, and we can create extraordinary things together. Until we meet again, remember that you're not just viewers, you're part of the Legend Finance family. And in this family, we all strive to live legendary lives. So go out there, make your impact, and never forget, stay legendary.